Children.
Children of the lawn.
Children of the lawn.
Oh, Kitty has the Kahlua and cream set out. Help yourselves, children.
Thank you very much.
She's generous. I like that.
What's that I smell, though? What is that? That's... Okay, I know who it is.
It's all of them. You know who it is. It's everybody but Tim.
Well, listen,
and maybe Conrad. But I can tell you, it's...
I think if Conrad is not a member of that club, I think she would be easy to convince.
It's definitely Sue. It's definitely Brenda. It's definitely Gail. Frank, I don't think partakes anymore. Oh, Paul Cooper. In St. Pete tomorrow night at the Mahaffey Theater.
Okay,
people, if you want to see a really good Led Zeppelin band and you're in Florida, our good buddy Paul Cooper is the drummer in Kashmir.
Really? I mean, hey, you know.
And they're playing tomorrow night.
When did you find this out? Like this afternoon?
Well,
I can't rally the troops.
We're rallying.
What's
We're rallying.
going on over there? What's going on in the corner of the cabin there?
You did that.
I did?
Yeah.
I came in here. Uh-oh, there goes my cloaking device.
All right.
All right.
I'll write it for everybody so they know where you're playing.
Okay. So, yeah, you're supposed to tell us that stuff.
I think they have been called one of the best Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, they're...
what should we call it? Not
I don't think they have a problem calling it a tribute band. And, I mean, listen, I've gotten... Oh, that's my stigma, not theirs, man. That's me, you know.
Okay, so...
That's 70s Long Island thinking, dude.
It is.
Yeah, I know it is. So, all right.
Tomorrow night is Paul Cooper, our buddy.
Yeah, and Paul, you gotta look. Well, I guess it doesn't matter, right? We could tell him
What?
Tom's name.
What are you talking? Yeah, who's Tom?
Tom at Mahaffey.
Oh, they're playing at Tom's place?
Is that not where they're playing?
Yes, it is. Well, you want to watch who you tell.
I know.
No.
Did I give you the name? There's a couple. You need a couple names. And I'm telling
Tomorrow
you.
night is Paul Cooper, the drummer of Kashmir.
Kashmir.
I love that song.
Anyway, speaking of music, I am so... The longer I live, the more surprised I am at this business that we're in, especially the music business. I mean, show business as a whole, it really is actors and technical people, anybody that is part of putting on a show. It's a certain breed. It's like, I'm sure you know Toby Tyler and the sawdust in his veins.
No.
No?
What is that? I don't know that.
Look it up now, Toby Tyler.
No, I'm writing about Paul.
The Paul Cooper?
Paul Cooper. I'm still trying to get it out right. Tomorrow night, Paul Cooper, drummer of Kashmir, just told us.
Yeah. Just told us.
They are playing in St. Pete.
I think I need to add another camera where things go the right way around. Anyway, so that I can show you reading stuff.
At the Mahaffey.
Yeah, the Mahaffey Theater.
Then Saturday. Wait, is Saturday tomorrow? No. Then Saturday, our good friends in Billy Joel's band, Mark Rivera and all of them, are
playing Ruth Eckerd?
Tampa.
Where are they playing?
I don't
Ruth
think they
Eckerd
play
Hall?
Ruth Eckerd. I think they play like the arenas.
Well, I gotta. I'll reach out to.
I can tell you.
Well, Vicky, listen, she's.
I spell Mahaffey.
M-A-H. I don't know. A-F-E-Y.
Now I gotta go find his.
Mahaffey.
I don't want to spell it wrong in case.
Well, why don't you spell it in somewhere that knows, and then you can copy it in.
Good idea, Stevie. What would I do without your big brain? What? I meant that. Mahaffey. I would have never guessed that.
F-F-E-Y?
Mahaffey.
I wonder why he named it that.
It sounds like it's Indian. Mahaffey.
Which kind of Indian?
Paul just wrote it.
Okay. Well, anyway, yeah, Paul, you should hit me, and I'll make sure that you see the right people. That's a great place. If you've never played there before, you're gonna love it. It's first class all the way. And once I turn you on to my friend, you'll be shot in the parking lot. So anyway, moving right along.
We actually went and saw Niall there. Our friend
Yeah,
Niall
that's right.
Rogers was playing there.
Yeah.
And it's a nice venue. We sat in the owner's box. It was
Yeah.
very nice.
Well, because we know, Bill is the owner, but Tom.
Nice green room. He said he told you weeks ago when he was on the show. You think our memory...
Weeks ago.
We can't even remember what we did this morning.
I am working on 2 projects simultaneously. I've got a visual project going on in here and an audio project going on in there. So I run something in there, set it up to run for an hour, then I come in here, work on this one for 45 minutes, decompress my head, go in there, change. It's like, man, let me tell you what, I feel like it's so crazy, and believe me, I am not complaining, I swear to Black Gumby. I couldn't be happier. And all of a sudden, all of this music that I've been doing over the years is finding homes. That piece in the beginning, the song that made you need to take that extra half, is called Gifts, and it's a song. I wrote that. That's like pre-Entwistle. I think that's 85 or 86 that I wrote that. But I didn't play the drum part on it until here. Like, I think last year I played it. And it reminded me, no, I don't think it was 85. That was 89, I think. That was China Club days.
Mitch is in the room.
Who is?
Speaking of China Club days.
Man, Mitch, I've been thinking about you for a couple of days, bro. I've got, wow. I got to tell you some stuff.
Yeah, and we saw a picture of
Who did we see that
Dino
picture look like?
Danelli.
Mitch? Yeah,
that
Dino.
Gene posted of the Rascals.
Looked like you, bro.
And I said to Steve, look at him, this guy here, because I didn't remember which one he was. I said, he looks like, and right when I was Gary saying Mitch, Steve said, Mitch Weissman.
Well, because it did.
And it did it. He looked just like you, Mitch.
Yeah.
And Billy Joel's playing in Orlando at the, now I forget the name of
Universal?
it. No, it's some
All right, I'll figure it out. I
just saw it.
What? Okay, it's okay.
But it went out of my brain.
Well, that's all right. Let it go. If it's yours, it'll come back.
Let it go. Oh, come on. What's it? It's a weird name for a theater. It's not a theater. Camping World Stadium.
Oh, of course. All right. I'm just not going near that. I'm going to move on because I've decided, we don't always have musicians. We mostly have musicians.
In 1 minute.
Well, okay, so I'm setting it up.
Oh, Mitch has something to say. Ron Delsner introduced me to Dino one day as, look, it's your brother. Yeah, I'm telling you, Gene just posted that picture yesterday or today, and we were going to send it to you and say, hey, Mitch, we didn't know you played drums in the Rascals.
For me, that's,
Yeah.
I think the only other picture that was iconic was the Lee Michaels picture, because that's the haircut that I wanted. And guess who's here?
That would be our guest, Dale Crevens, the vice president of Tech 21.
Yes. Come in. Oh, okay, we're in that view. We don't want to be in that view. We want to be in this view.
Hello.
Hey, hello. Did someone say Rickenbacker?
I didn't, but somebody else did, so.
Yeah, twice, like black and white. Nice. Very, very nice.
It's a nice collection.
Yes, it is.
It must be her husband.
I'm no stranger to those. I love those.
Yeah,
And
they're
I'm always about a visual theme, so that's awesome. Whatever ADD person put the one black and white one on one end and the white and black one on the other end, please. Although, do we want to put the what do you call it, the block necks outside of the
Are you really going
of
to
the
do that
dot
to her
neck?
husband? Oh, Mitch says he loves Tech 21 products. He used to sell a lot of them at Sam Ash.
Ah, nice. Okay.
I know something about Tech 21 products.
Do you
Oh
know
yeah,
Titan?
such as
That if you can read it backwards.
Stanzamp. Yes, I can read backwards. I know that logo anywhere.
Okay,
Stanzamp.
so that is
Wait. What?
John
John Entwistle.
Entwistle.
You know what? I'll do you a favor. I hate the way this looks, but you have to see this because it's part of the, it's part of the thing. So let me turn my silly
Yes.
camera around,
6 degrees of separation.
and I will. All right, wait a minute. Here we go. 90 degrees. Here we go. Okay, ready?
Oh, that's much better. Okay, now I can see it. Yes.
To show her the
Oh,
Tech
that's so
21.
cool. I didn't know we were in there. That's great.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so sweet. Wow, that's great to see.
Oh yeah. If you know,
Yeah.
I mean, I've probably got a couple thousand of these left. No, I'd be happy to send some up there.
Yeah, no, because we did the Tech 21 show at the NAMM show in somewhere in the mid '90s, around that time. Because he used the Sansamp rack mount, the PSA one.
Trust me, I know because I was, and I hope I'm not bringing up a sore subject with Lloyd. It is
Well, it's not a sore subject; it's a sad subject.
yeah,
Yeah.
man, and but that's who I really knew there, and it's who I interfaced with for John, and
Right.
he hooked us up, and I'll tell you this: to this day, I use the PSA One plugin in my studio.
Nice. That's
It's-
great.
I mean, if I put a couple of other little modeling things around it, man, it takes me right. I know where it is because we
Yeah.
dealt with that piece so long. So, man, nice to see you.
Nice to see you. I believe we met sometime a long time ago, but I just can't remember where or when.
Well, it would have been NAMM for sure because
Probably,
we would have gone. John and I were best of friends, business partners.
Right.
Bing, 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 bing.
Bandmates.
Bandmates for 15 years, and the reason that happened in the book is when we were doing the tour program, we discussed all the ones to thank everybody that supported us over the years and da 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 da. And I think that was January of '96 because we went out, right? That was our first tours, the John Emerson.
Yeah, it sounds about right. It was 95 or 96. I just can't remember exactly.
Yeah,
But that was a
if it
really
was
fun
winter
show.
now.
Yeah.
Sorry?
That was a really fun show.
Yeah. It was, it was a great show. It was, but there we are. So we all have our,
I know. Well, it's like that's also a sad subject, although it's,
believe me, it's a very sad subject, but it's getting, and can you believe that June will be 20 years?
no. I have no concept of time to begin with, but it's like when I hear things that were, it was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, I feel like it was just like last year.
Right, exactly. In dog years, maybe it was that long ago, but
Yeah, I mean, it's 2 years since Lloyd died, and I can't believe it's 2 years already. It's just,
that's nuts. Well, and I'll tell you another connection. You know Joe Berger, of course.
everybody knows Joe Berger.
So Joe Berger did front of house for the Entwistle band and recorded all those tracks that we did on the live album. I mean, Joe and I go back to Rat Race Choir days to whatever. What was that club that he was at?
Oh, the one in Jersey?
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, it doesn't matter.
Does not matter.
Anyway, yeah, it's nuts, and I thought, the idea of this show for me, just getting down to business,
Yes. Okay.
was the fact that I get to hang out with a lot of really cool people and talk this industry talk and do this industry thing, and it's like second nature.
Yeah.
And being isolated, I took a year off. I was doing a band with Robin Zander, and then after that, I took a year off to start another project that I was really passionate about, and then COVID showed up. And it's
Yeah.
like all of a sudden, it's like, where is everybody? And 2 years
Yeah.
go by.
They're at home.
So that's where everybody's playing Margaritaville or your favorite request. I said, you know what? I'm calling my friends on Zoom,
Yeah.
and if you want to watch, we talk about some cool stuff, and that's really what it is. And
Yeah.
and because on the road, it's different. On your side of it, although you do the NAMM show, you probably meet. My God, I can't
Tons.
think of the. I can't even think of the droves of people that do that booth. And what I thought
Yeah.
I would do, because for me, this is you and I being at the cafeteria at the same time, sitting down at a table with our
Sure.
badges on, having the conversation. It wouldn't be, well, so Dale, 1991 is it? It's not me really.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to share it with people, and I thought, we talk about NAMM a lot. NAMM, excuse me, if you remember Summer NAMM '87, do you remember that? You was
No,
part of-
I didn't. No,
Yeah.
my first show was winter of '91. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's how I met Entwistle, was at NAMM '87 Summer NAMM when it was McCormick Place. Before they.
The summer show used to be the big show, and then it somehow flipped.
Yeah.
'Cause that was in Chicago, right?
Yeah, in Chicago at
Yeah.
McCormick Place, and then we jammed at the Vic Theater and blah blah blah. But that's where NAMM started for me.
Right.
And it's like, and people, who do you see walking down the aisle? Like everybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's such a good hang. And I thought, it would be fun to talk, tell some NAMM stories, because people hear us talk about NAMM all the time. And
Yeah. Well, it's a really big party, and I have to say, it's like, I remember Brian Beller before he was, more of a bass, but he used to be a writer, and he worked for a magazine. He went around interviewing people and saying, "What does NAMM mean to you?" And everybody came up with these things, and my response was, "It's like a high school reunion, except you like everybody."
exactly. It's
So that's to me, it's like, and I would always look forward to going to NAMM. That was like the biggest event and the biggest fun party, and I just couldn't wait to go. And I would listen to other manufacturers go, "Oh, I hate the NAMM show." I'm like, "What's wrong with you?"
Well, you see, that's the thing. It's and I've seen that. I get that when it's that corporate grind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you're one of the major players and you have to do that double stacked booth with the extra this and the fire and the rain, whatever. Some of those, they get so over the top with it,
Yeah.
and they get real anal about it. And I have always had a nice, relaxed atmosphere at the booth that I was a part of. You know what I mean? Whether I was with John or on my own. So I love NAMM. I think it's like the boat show for music.
Exactly.
Really? What's that, hon?
I said D-Drum, you were there with Elliot.
Oh yeah, that's right. And that's real. You must remember Elliot Rubinson from
Dean.
Armadillo.
No, I don't.
Dean guitars.
Oh,
Dean
sure,
drum.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and Elliot. Elliot, as it turned out, is a pretty amazing bass player. Rest in peace. He passed, so he's not, needless to say, not with us. But the last NAMM that I did was with him, with Dean, because we were doing an Entwistle bass and a whole big thing. But it turned out that the bass that we created two, a heritage bass and like a hybrid of what all the stuff that he liked. That if you incorporated new stuff now.
Right.
And Elliot wound up playing that for the rest of his career, and he played with Cactus, and I mean, it's just amazing. So,
Yeah.
and when you're a player, you're going to give off that vibe. It's not a purchase order. It's a relationship. So I went out there to just play with Elliot when he was promoting the bass, and you probably will remember that it was the show that Megadeth played at where's the baseball place? Anaheim, the club that's in.
I know. I can't remember names of anything either. Trust me. It's like, what's the name of that? What was that guy's name? It's like I can see it, I can hear it, I can feel it, I can smell it, and I can't remember the name of it.
Nah, it doesn't matter.
All the time. All the time.
We could just make something up, and
We could. We
as long
could.
as we both know what we're talking about, that's all that matters.
Exactly.
But anyway, I wound up playing. As it turned out, Armadillo, which is the parent company, Elliot's, company, also makes D drums, and
Okay.
not the electric drums that you remember from
Yeah,
yesterday.
no, that's a very good brand. I know
Oh
that.
man! And they built me. I had so much fun playing them, and I played this snare drum the whole next day in their soundproof booth. And
Oh, I'm glad you were in a soundproof booth because the drumland was like, you just walk by. It's like, oh my God, it was so loud and so.
oh yeah,
Hellwind.
and especially with this thing. I mean, this is a steel. It's just gorgeous, and I was in there just deafening my own self and loving it. And by the end of the show, by Sunday, they signed me as an endorser, and I couldn't be happier.
That's great. That's really great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So-
the fun part of the gig is working with the artists, and that's to me, that's the perk, like that's the easy part. And that's the part that I love the most is dealing with the artists. But I also love dealing with the public. That's why the NAMM show was so fun because one minute I'm talking to a dealer, next minute I'm talking to a distributor, then I'm talking to an artist, then I'm talking to Joe Schmo that just came in, got somehow scammed a badge, which was a lot easier in the old days, but
Yeah.
it's like he's just he's just in his own band at home and just wants to go, and because you're like a kid in a candy store if you're an artist. I mean, if you're a musician, it's like, oh my God, it's overwhelming.
I couldn't believe, and when I say it's like the boat show for music, but there is everything from the smallest inset screw that goes on the inside of a stomp box to grand pianos and everything in
Yeah.
between.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And
Yeah, it is.
the colors, right? I mean, I haven't been there in a few years. I imagine it. Well, I don't know about now because I guess it's the COVID.
Yeah, I don't know what to expect in June. I'm a little nervous,
Wow.
'cause I know a lot of major manufacturers are not exhibiting, so it's kind of like, So
Yeah, and that and there's nothing like that. I learned so much just by going to the demos.
Yeah.
Because the different booths would have their guy that goes through all the patches and does the thing, and you wind up eating lunch at the Korg booth, and oh wow, it's Jack, and he's doing some crazy thing with some new program. It's like constant entertainment. And,
it is. It is. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it.
And so do you guys do the Hilton when you're there?
What do you mean, do the Hilton?
I mean, do you do the Hilton Jam, that thing down,
Well,
that they have?
we've sponsored, or we do the bands at NAMM usually, and sometimes they're in the Hilton, sometimes they're in the Marriott. It depends on which band it is and how loud they are. Like we had Doug Pinnick. No, seriously, we had Doug Pinnick, but he was at the Hilton because it was a bigger room and it could accommodate more decibels. And we would have quieter things over in the Marriott. But then we also did a main stage one out in the Grand Plaza with Bernie Williams and Gil Paris, which was really great, because they're really great,
Yeah, well, Bernie plays with Chris Clark sometimes. Chris
Yeah.
backs him up. I was talking to Chris today. He's producing a project that he's part of. It's such an amazingly small business. If we really
It
pecked
really
away,
is, yeah.
we would find so many, common threads, and you know, if I'm trying to do anything with this show, it's to show that, you know, it's not just a bunch of people getting up on stage and partying for an hour and a half. It's a whole way of life, and the NAM
Yeah,
part,
it is.
tech
It is.
part, we couldn't do it the way we do it without the tech part. You know.
Yeah, that's true. You wouldn't have all these groovy pieces of equipment to give you all this great sound and inspire you to play. That's what it's
Yeah.
all about, you know, because the better you sound, the better you play. That's how it
Okay,
works.
Always.
do you know Mitch Weissman? Are you from New York or?
Yes, I am from New York. Yeah.
You know Mitch Weissman?
No, from where?
Oh, he was Paul.
He was
in
Paul in the
Beatlemania.
original Beatlemania, bass player.
No, I mean, I know so many people, but there's so many I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
seriously, you know.
Okay, well,
Believe me,
he
I
said he was at Electric Lady Studios when Foreigner was doing a radio broadcast with Lou Graham,
Okay.
and Lloyd Schwartz brought
Lloyd.
brought Mick Jones the first Tech 21 rack mount amp for him to use.
Right, because Mick was instrumental in the very early days. You know, Andrew Barta, he's the president of the company, inventor of the SansAmp. He showed it to Mick because he had his own business on the side. He was doing repairs and custom mods, and he had some pretty heavy hitters, you know, his clientele, and Mick Jones being one of them. So he showed the original SansAmp to Mick. And I mean, it was just a black box at the time, you know. So, and he really liked it. He was like, "Wow, this thing is amazing. It's great."
Yeah.
You know?
It is. It's. I had never seen. I don't know that I've seen anything like it since, especially since
Yeah,
it was a piece of hardware. I mean, there's a lot of emulating things out there, but that, it's just, you can just. I don't know. It's a. We'll start to get into geek out land, but you know, the things that you can do with it and the way you can make it live with other instruments in a mix.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
I'm going all the way back to the PSA1.
Yeah.
It's just, if I need something to stand out a little bit more, or you know, whatever, especially
Yep.
a guitar, man, you just have to rock those things, and all of a sudden it pops out at you. Amazing piece of gear.
Yeah.
Amazing piece of gear.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yay.
Well, I can't take credit for it. I can only take credit for naming it. I can't take credit for designing it.
Oh, you named
No,
it?
you could take credit for designing it if you want. We don't.
No, it's Andrew Barta. He's the electronics genius that, you know, invented the whole thing. And it was just, you know, he made my job very easy because, you know, it's such a great product. You know, it's because I'm not a natural salesperson. It's like, if you give me a piece of crap, I can't sell it to anybody. You know, you give me something great. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, you know, it's the same with me. If I wouldn't buy it, I won't endorse it. So, you know, I
Exactly.
get that. Yeah, I get that 100%.
Yeah, and we've had artists approach us about, you know, and sometimes it's just like a mass email or something. They're just looking for free gear, and it's like, no, we need to have a relationship. I need to know, because there were other companies that would literally send product out to all these artists so that they could say that they had it, but they weren't actually using it. And we know this because we talked to the artists and they told us the stories, you know, about how they just got this thing in the mail one day and it's like, I don't know what to do with this thing.
Wow.
Well, the thing that you guys did for us, when I say us, I mean, you know, John and I, we were trying to make matching rigs so that for composition.
Right.
We wanted, I mean, we're going back how many, 20 plus years ago. So, you know,
Yeah.
we're not doing it, you know, with digital audio. But even with MIDI, we had, you know, MIDI basses that we got the cyber bass. And so we were trying to mimic each other's rigs. And you guys sent him a PSA1, you sent me a PSA1. And, you know, that's half the reason for that, you know, because it's just the right thing to do. You guys were always good to him. I mean, you know, to me too, by default. But, you know,
Right.
hey, no matter what. And the truth is, I do use that plugin. It's a good sounding plugin.
Well,
That's yours?
we don't have
right?
anything to do with it anymore. You know, we sold it to DigiDesign, which became Avid.
I
And you can
know.
only get it if you have Pro Tools. It's not a standalone plugin, you
Yeah.
know.
Oh, is that right? Whatever it is, man, it's pretty honest. You
Yeah,
know.
no, they did a really good job. Well, the people we worked with did a really good job in making it, you know, and but our we're the analog kids, we're the old school analog geeks, so we prefer that,
Yeah. Well, listen. For me, I like to go with Digilog, and then
It depends on what the usage is, and it depends on whatever everything else that you're using. I mean, sometimes it's better to have hardware. Sometimes it's just easier to have the software, and we understand that,
Yeah, but
but
but there's nothing. I agree. I mean, I have done the number of shows versus sessions. It's like stacked. I played hundreds and thousands of shows, and there's nothing like the live sound. I mean, you can mimic it in a small place with software, but if you're not going through, if it's not the signal chain, you
mhm.
don't get that. At
Yeah.
well, but anyway,
It also has a different feel, it doesn't
hmm
feel the same,
Yeah. So, well, I didn't even think about Nam. This was there anything this year? I don't even know if there was.
No, they did. Last year they had a virtual one, but we didn't really participate in it. It was honestly, it was a lot of money, and since it was an unproven thing, we didn't know what to do, how to do it, and it just seemed a little overwhelming. And we just decided to focus on product development, and there were also obviously there were issues with supply chain, so we felt that our money was better spent, just reinvesting it into product and trying to get that done, because it was tricky trying to get all the parts, you know what I mean?
That's
Honest
tricky.
to God, we were sitting there going, in fact, we were designing a product with a particular part and we couldn't get it. So we had to redesign it. So
Wow. Wow.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I totally get that because I mean I'm by no means an engineer, but I understand the process, and I certainly get
Mhm.
the fact that if you can't get a certain chip, that's where the railroad stops.
Exactly, and we were almost dead in the water with existing products, of a part we couldn't get, and it was like, oh my God, and we were panicking, but fortunately the supplier came through late, but came through.
And obviously overseas. I mean, I don't want to call anybody out, but obviously it's overseas, right?
Well, yeah, all the parts come from overseas. I mean, who anybody in the United States make a potentiometer anymore? No,
Really?
so I mean, we do source parts all around the world, not just one specific place. Like some come from China, some come from Taiwan, some come from here, some come from there. We do have other countries. We try to source locally as much as possible, like some of our metalwork, and some of our PC boards are actually from local sources. But and we do try to spread it around because you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, so to speak. Because
Yeah, no, I believe me. I totally get that. I mean,
yeah,
it's a lot of moving parts in your end of the industry,
sure is.
and yeah, I mean, especially what you're doing. You can't have like stock up to the roof, and you can't.
No.
You hope you don't see the floorboards. So,
Yeah,
you
well,
know,
that's the other hard part is balancing, like how many parts you need and for how long. And then, the lead times go from 4 weeks to 8 weeks to 16 weeks to like 9 months. This just happened just recently. It was like, what's the lead
yeah,
time? 9 months.
it's
It's
man. I mean, and I mean, price wise, it's got to be killing you too, right?
it is. And honestly, we held out as long as we possibly could, but we had no choice but to raise our prices between the actual prices of parts, not to mention the freight getting them in. It's like skyrocketed.
Man,
Freight costs went
Every
up 44% last year.
yeah,
wow.
everybody.
Yeah.
Well, I believe me, I know to a certain degree because the project that I took when I finished the music project with Robin, I did a fashion line, and it's something that I had been planning for years, and it's a whole big long thing. But
Yeah, I was looking at that. That stuff's really cool, I gotta say.
oh,
Well, my original dream was to become a famous fashion designer.
Oh, wow.
oh,
Yeah.
well, that's really so. Oh, well, okay. So we should talk about that because that was fun.
Yeah, because that was not his dream.
That was not my dream.
Oh,
I
that's
grew
funny.
up. I grew up in a Seventh Avenue family that
Oh,
was
wow.
all in the garment. They were all. It was
Yeah.
only not on Seventh Avenue. We were in Westchester County, and they had
Right.
two factories. It's when we used to make stuff here.
Yes.
And I mean, I was on the floor of a factory with 60 seamstresses playing with empty spools of thread and yarn. The last thing in the world, I was the black sheep. Everybody went into the business. I was the musician.
Right. Every musician is a black sheep. Come on.
Exactly. So, and so it's funny when I actually the shirts are made out of my original art. I've been doing art as long as I've been playing music, and I developed something that I feel comfortable calling a technique. And this is decades of just something that I never even thought about showing anybody. So then I moved to Florida. Somebody says, "Oh, you ought to show this." I said, "Okay." I show it. People buy it. It's like, wow. Then, hey, I'd look great on shirts, on a T-shirt. Nah, nah, nah. And so one thing leads to another, and that old Seventh Avenue brain kicks in, and I start thinking,
Right.
well, if I used a 80 double weed, then. So
I get it. I get it. I watch Project Runway. I watch Making the Cut.
Oh, so would you call yourself? I mean, are you? You still want to do that?
No.
No. Oh no. Good.
No, but she enjoyed
But
No.
you enjoy it.
No, I mean the thing is that half of me wanted to be in the music business and half of me wanted to be a fashion designer, and I did the fashion thing first. It didn't work out because to me it was like the worst business in the world.
Yep.
I mean the worst business, And so I love the art of designing, but the business end of it was just horrendous, and I said I don't want to deal with any of this. It's like that's not for me. So
Let me
I
tell you
just,
what.
Talk about prima donnas.
So
right?
yeah, so did you do it? I mean, or you just?
no, I did it a little bit, but what I didn't like what I saw, and that's why I just bailed. People are always stealing your designs. You come up with an idea, the next thing you know, there's like a million of them out there, and you don't get credit for it. It's different. You write a song, not that I'm a songwriter, because God knows I'm not. But if you write a song, you can copyright it. It's your song.
Like
You design something that's different and innovative or whatever, and it's yours for a day.
I know.
And then everybody else has it, and you can do absolutely nothing about it,
Yeah.
So,
believe me,
I mean, even the most famous fashion designers can't.
I was just going to say, my heart bleeds for Christian Dior and
Absolutely, absolutely, Chanel. I mean, all of them, Versace.
Louis. They all get
Yeah.
Prada,
So-
But I mean, that's the product of excellence. Everybody wants to
Well,
find.
we even have to, we go through that as well. People copy our products. They copy the idea. There's a couple of companies that we know and hate, and because they take, and then it's like, but luckily they don't do a very good job at it. Yes, they make it a lot cheaper, but it's crappy and it won't last long. And it's not the same thing. It's really not the same thing. So it's just a matter of, you kind of have to stay ahead of the pack with innovating the next thing, and you just got to keep going. You can't look back and you can't get hung up on this stuff. You just got to keep going and be the first one out there, because Andrew never runs out of ideas. You know what I mean? I really thought that, this company would be around for 2, maybe 5 years, and I'd go off and do something else. God, it's like 33 years later. Holy crap.
Wow. Oh, that's a good thing.
I know, it's a great thing, because it couldn't be a better gig for me. It uses all my skills, like every single one of them, and I learned a few along the way.
Well, I remember. I mean, I have fleeting memories. It was a Nam show, and it was Entwistle. But I do remember we either had a meal with you guys or hung out. There was some kind of signing or something, and I remember everybody was very nice. And I also enjoyed the fact that it was not corporate. It was,
Gosh, no, no.
yeah. So it was.
No, I mean, Andrew's not corporate. I am not. I worked in the corporate world, but I am not a corporate person. It's like, this is the music business. And yes, it's serious, but it's also fun, and it's seriously fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's about, it is, as you know, it's all about the passion. That's the key word in this business. Sometimes the passion wins out over the money. You know what I mean?
More times than not.
Right. And that's how it's supposed to be. And even for us, it's like we're not looking to be this big giant mega corporation, with bean counters and shareholders. And no, we like staying small because then we're in control of everything. And Andrew's very passionate about everything he designs, and everything has to be a certain quality. Like we could get cheaper parts. But we don't want to.
Yeah, that's the way Elliot was. That's the way Elliot was at Dean. He would go the extra mile in order to,
And say, I'm not the Queen
yeah,
of Mary.
I remember when I was trying to get a John bass done, right? I mean, think about it. You know Entwistle's history. Who would be the obvious candidates? Fender, yeah. Gibson, yeah. Rickenbacker, yeah. And I couldn't get anybody. I wrote to the people at Fender. John's one of his most famous basses is the bass that he recorded Tommy with, and it was made out of 5 different basses from them smashing up instruments, right? And it was called Frankenstein. And I thought to myself, well, okay, it's got this neck, it's got these pickups. How could Fender turn this down? We'll call it Fender Frankenstein. You use a 62 neck and you use the pick. I couldn't get them to even breathe in or out.
Yes.
And then I did the same thing with what's his name, Henry at Gibson. Thank you very much.
Henry Juskowitz. Yes. No.
Yes,
No.
Juskowitz.
Yes. Yeah.
And so then I say, you know what?
You call Leslie.
Rickenbacker, well, yeah, Leslie. Rickenbacker won't even get in the conversation. And I decided, you know what? Make it really hard on yourself, Steve, and design the Fender Bird, because John had a Thunderbird body and a Fender neck, and for many years that was what he used. He loved the neck, and I thought, wow, can you imagine the only Gibson Fender? And yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah, it's like, it's like the ruby slippers. It's like,
So then I'm on the phone. I'm talking to Leslie West, and Leslie says, "Why don't you call up Elliot at Dean?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Okay." And I called up Elliot at Dean. Elliot picked up the phone. I said, "I'm me. I want to do this." He said, "Okay, let's go." And boom.
Yeah. Well, it's like, Andrew originally, he didn't want to be a manufacturer. This was not part of the plan. He just wanted to sell the technology. Everybody turned him down, including Henry Juskowitz, so yeah.
And in hindsight, do you see that as a good thing? Or
Absolutely.
Okay, so,
I wouldn't be here now. I wouldn't have had my dream career. You know what I mean? It's like, it was a blessing in disguise, but
Yeah.
It was not the plan. It was definitely not the plan.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to ask you one question just because I'm curious, and we're all about the promo here. Then I'm going to play a promo because we're also about the sponsors. And then I will come back. And did Angus send you the list with the questions on it?
Yeah, but the questions are for musicians, and I'm not.
No, they have been modified.
I didn't get modified questions.
Oh, no.
No, he's going to modify.
No, I'm going to modify.
Oh, modify away. I'm good.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, come on. That's what, little mid-range.
Just turn the knobs.
Just turn it to, yeah, exactly. Southbound and down. So I'll meet you back here in about a minute. And, but I did want to ask you before we take the break, what is the gear du jour? What's the new, not secrets, but I mean, what is the new piece of gear? What have you got? What's in the line? Or can we not know?
You cannot know.
Okay.
I'm all right with that.
We don't divulge, you know. I mean, the most recent thing, where'd it go? Oh, here it was. We did the Geddy Lee signature MP40.
Okay, that's what I'm talking. I don't want secrets.
This is a limited edition, but this is basically sold out everywhere. You know, we did a limited edition, and they're all gone. That thing sold out so fast it wasn't even funny. We brought back the Red Ripper, a small amount. You know, so that's fun because, you know, the funny thing about our products is like a lot of times we come out with something new and innovative and really cool, but nobody gets it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know. I know exactly.
Like a certain, you know, level of player will get it and understand it and know how to use it. But then it goes, and so, you know, eventually it goes away. And then, you know, years later, somebody comes back and it's like, oh my God, this thing is so amazing. And then it's like, okay. And that's what happened with the Red Ripper. You know, the Red Ripper did very well, but, you know, eventually it had to go. And then Mike Kerr from Royal Blood divulged that he was using that. And all of a sudden everybody's freaking out. So we did a small limited run and, you know, they're almost sold out now. So.
Wow, that's good, man. And listen, well deserved. I know you guys have been not grinding it out because you've had great success and the products speak for themselves. You know, they're used by some of the best musicians on the planet. So,
including Les Paul, he used it.
Yeah,
I know. Les Paul used our amp every Monday night at the Iridium for like 10 years.
Yeah.
Well, I think he knows something about sound. And,
I know, and he used to come to the office. He was so funny. We loved him.
Yeah,
my favorite Les Paul story was like he called up one day. He could never remember my name. He used to call me Blondie, which was fine. I was totally good with that, you know. But I was talking to him about something, and I forget what it was. But you know, we were talking about the amp, and he was like, "That's the best goddamn amp I ever played."
Wow, that's good. I went high praise.
Yeah.
Well, because he's so, you know, those guys, the guys that play on that level, or the guys, especially a guy like Les Paul that invents as he goes, you know, the road ends, so we'll keep paving the road so we can keep going forward. They know what they want. I always marveled at anybody who is an expert at their instrument, how, you know, for me it's drumsticks, you know, and if it doesn't feel the way it's supposed to feel, you know, so it's amazing. And you're right. I mean, the people that get it, you know, those are the...
Well, okay, one of our viewers is asking, what, may I ask, is an MP40?
It's a bass pedal. It's a Geddy Lee signature Sans amp. It's a limited edition. MP40 is for Moving Pictures 40th anniversary. Yeah. So we created special artwork for it, you know, which pays homage to the album cover.
Just hold it there because I'll put you full screen so that they can see it. Okay. Because it should be seen.
That's right. Well,
it's a beautiful piece. It really is.
Yeah, we have a lot of musicians watching.
Boom, there it is. Wow, it really is now. That's gorgeous.
Yeah.
That's very cool. Look at the graphic. That's nice.
Yeah.
Wow, cool. And so just to explain to people, that basically emulates the sound that he has developed over the years for himself, you know.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's based on what the Sans Amp YYZ pedal, you know, but it has a couple of extra bells and whistles. It has an extra boost, and it has a shapeshifter button. And we say you get some extra schmagelka.
Oh, schmagelka! I love a little extra schmagelka. Put that in there. Oh. Nothing wrong with schmagelka. We put some in the Entwistle bass. Do you remember what come on, it's coming. Oh, please. That's right, we're almost out of time.
Sounds like subject.
Sounds like Oral Exciter. The Oral Exciter.
Oh yeah.
Okay, remember No, so sorry. We're not going porn.
No. It was a...
the Oral Exciter.
What? Okay. I know what you mean.
Aphex Oral Exciter.
Yeah, Steve, they didn't see it larger. They saw you and not the gear.
Oh, they saw me?
Yeah.
No, that's too bad.
Anyway. We didn't see it larger.
Well, I'll put a link up, and you can.
Okay, we'll put a link up for you guys.
Aphex made a bass boost. They use it in the bass. I mean, they were. That's how I found out about it. I mean, I've been using an oral exciter since the '70s. You remember when that came out? But this thing is ridiculous. And
No, I have. I know.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
you have. I was not some back trashy nam humor.
Okay, so for the commercial, and then the question.
Sorry, yes. So I just was wondering what's current in the line. I was certainly not.
Oh, current. Yeah, I know all about that. Yeah.
Okay, good.
So go do your commercial.
All right.
Okay.
Do I just wait here and I don't push any buttons. I don't do anything.
Nope.
I mean, you can if you want to, but no, there's not.
Okay.
You're good. All right, we'll be right back. Here we go. I think I know how this works. Do I? Yes, I do. And on your mark, get set, go. Yes.
Most of you know I live in Southwest Florida now. And one of my favorite places to grab a bite to eat is Jason's Deli. Scott and Diana Willis have been in business here for over 20 years. The truth is, Jason's Deli has bigger choices of better food. You can eat healthy and enjoy the taste of quality ingredients. They're open 7 days a week for dine-in, pick-up, or deli delivery. With 4 convenient locations from Naples to Cape Coral, Florida, they are a must-try. Jason's Deli, where all good things come from wholesome ingredients. And Bradley's Jewelers in South Fort Myers. Diamonds, bridal, you name it, estate, custom design, and expert repair. Bradley's Jewelers, South Fort Myers. They specialize in amazing moments.
Questions and out.
There you go.
Yeah.
Boy, that sandwich looked really good. I gotta say.
Oh yeah, let me tell you what. But wait a minute. You're in New York.
I know, but it's a sandwich, and I'm hungry. What can I tell you?
Oh,
There you
okay.
go. She's
Well,
hungry,
yeah.
so
I
let's
mean,
ask her the question.
I'll tell you what. It's when you're down here and you're from there.
Yeah.
It's about as good a sandwich as you can ever wish for. So
I believe you. And actually, speaking of Naples, that reminds me. You know my sales manager, Time Rogers.
Oh yeah.
Time Rogers.
He says
Yeah.
hello. He says hello.
Oh.
He says he was just thinking about you a couple of weeks ago and was wondering what you were up to. And I emailed him and I said, hey, I'm going to be on the show tonight. And he said he was going to hopefully be able to tune in, but he'll see it afterwards. But he wanted to say hello.
Time.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Oh
still in
man,
Naples?
yes. My God, he's still. That's amazing. He's in Naples still.
Yeah. What do you mean still? He hasn't been that long,
Where?
Well, no, it has been a while.
Yeah, it has.
See,
Yeah.
there goes that again. That's why
I know, right? I have no concept
We
of
ran
time.
into him years
That's
ago.
why I'm in space. We did. Well, I always talk to him. Ah, man, yeah.
Yeah. Very nice
Time
guy.
Rogers, yeah. And was it Dawn, his wife, Dawn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
And still is.
it's good. That's glad. That's always gets.
Yeah, no, it gets sticky. No. Dawn, we love her. She's so wonderful. Time is like my brother from another mother. And
Yeah, he's cool. He's
Yeah.
cool.
He's
And I
very
remember,
sweet.
it was Dawn of Time. I'll never
exactly.
forget.
I said the same thing. Yeah.
Dawn of Time. Yeah. So there you go.
Okay,
Memorable
time for the
people. All right, so
questions
time
and
for the
letter
questions.
E.
Here we
Okay,
go.
questions. Here we go.
Do you do music messa? Have you been to the German one?
Usually Time and Andrew would go, but I didn't. It was always too close to NAMM, and it was at the crappy time of year. It's like, who wants to go to Germany like in February or March? Not me.
Go Burger.
So it's like, yeah, right. So I wouldn't be useful there,
All right. Well, this is about places to eat. So wherever the show is, you've done a lot of road traveling, no matter what it is. I know you've been on that
Yes.
road.
Yes.
Favorite place when you're heading through that part of the country or the world? Favorite place to eat?
Red O. Red O.
Red O.
Yeah, it's in LA, and I think there's one in Chicago. But it's like, somebody's told me it was Mexican food. It is not Mexican food. It is so elevated. They have the most insane mole sauce, and just the chicken. I mean, who would think to rave about chicken? But this was so good. I would never rave about chicken, but this was amazing.
Red O.
And the street corn, oh my God, the street corn, best ever.
That sounds good.
Every time I'm like, We used to do Bass Player Live when they used to have those shows, and it was
Yeah.
like, gotta go to Red O's, and we'd go there with Doug Pinnick and Rex Brown and some other people. We'd always like, yeah, gotta go. So
Oh man, excellent. Good, good,
Yeah.
good. We'll put that in the book. That's
Yeah,
see,
definitely.
see. Now this next question has been modified.
yes,
For musicians, it's your favorite song to play live, but that's not what it is for you. For you, it's when you're on the NAMM floor and you hear somebody playing this song, whatever it is, it catches your ear. Oh wow, they know that song. Favorite song to hear on the NAMM floor.
anything by Doug Pinnick.
The, okay, excellent, excellent. There you go. All right.
I love him. I adore him. The whole world knows I adore him and love him. He knows it. And I'm a huge King's X fan. And anytime I could listen to him all day, all night, every day.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Now, on the other side of that coin, what is the song that they always play at NAMM that you can't say, I can't believe they're playing that again? The dreaded NAMM song.
The dreaded NAMM song.
Like Saturday, it's Sam Ash. Who, you know.
Oh God, there's so many of them. It's like,
would-
I mean, anything by Fleetwood Mac. Sorry.
No.
Ah,
I,
we're not in that band.
yeah, I'm not. I haven't been in that band for a while.
Yeah, that, and like I don't know. There's too many.
Smoke on the Water.
Well, yeah, that. Oh God. Yeah. I mean, I'm a snob when it comes to music, and it's like, I love many different genres, but only certain things from each one. You know what I mean? And,
Yes, I do.
It's like, it takes a lot for me to get excited about a band, and my more recent favorite was the Struts, because they are so fun and happy and danceable and singable and memorable. I mean, those tunes get stuck in your head, but in a good way, not in a bad way.
Yeah, no, I get it.
And of course, the other band that's closest to my heart is Why Not?
Why not?
Yeah, I mean, they're just amazing. Their original tunes are incredible, and their Rush covers are stupid. They're just perfect. So.
Well, how about have you checked out Snarky Puppy?
I have not, but I love the name, because I'm pretty snarky myself. So
Yeah, this is for you, man.
I like the
mean,
name.
they are. And who is it that they play with, Snarky Puppy, and who's the other one when they do? Man,
I don't know. They're young though, and
it's
they're prods.
it's very.
all right, I have heard the name, but I get so little time. Like, people send me stuff all the time, and it's like, I don't have time to listen to this. It drives me nuts.
Yeah, well, but
well, they're bringing music back.
Yeah, but that if you hear something that catches your head, you make time for it,
Yeah,
right?
you do. That is true.
These guys, they're guys. They get together with other bands, and the stuff that they play. I mean, if you like Rush and you like that kind of aggressive,
I do.
intelligent rock and
I like
roll,
Rammstein. You know what I mean? It's like,
Rammstein.
super great.
I think you'll like the Puppy. I think you just got.
I'll check out the Puppy.
Yeah, check
Puppy
that
out.
puppy out.
And I do like that name too.
Yeah, it's a great name.
No, it is a really good name. I do like it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's you'll like it. I mean, some of it gets a little, like it gets, but anyway, check it out. Okay, so now let's see. This one I took some time to try to work this one out. Out of all the people that have been through the booth over the years, who would be in the all-star band?
Oh.
Living or dead? They could be dead.
Well, then they weren't in the booth, were they?
Well, they were before they were
when
dead.
They were alive.
No, I'm talking about musicians or whoever it is that came and did signings or did the whatever. Who would be in that band? Now, got to be somebody.
Well, yeah. I mean, I got to say, Richie Kotzen.
Mm-hmm.
love him. You know, he's an amazing musician, amazing songwriter, amazing player. I mean, it's ridiculous. Singer. I mean, I would love to have Richie Kotzen, Doug Pinnick, trying to think, other than you as a drummer, um,
Throwing the dog a bone.
I'm in. And don't forget about the dead part. We get Entwistle too if you want to do that. No, but no.
okay, I really like Ray Luzier. He's really fantastic.
Yeah.
I also like Mike Portnoy.
Oh, now you're. I don't know. Am I
What?
competing for the gig? I'm competing for the gig with Mike Portnoy. No, please don't. No.
No? Okay.
Well, Steve, that was good.
Yeah, I mean that's I'm the prog guy. No, I'm kidding. I like what Mike.
And I'd have, between Richie and Doug, trading singing and, that would probably be, I would like that.
Okay,
All right.
that's a very
Good.
good thing. Yeah, good
Good
band,
answer.
very good band,
Yes.
and I'm sure I'll be well compensated for my portion. And
Well, have you listened to the Winery Dogs? I mean, they're
yeah.
they're amazing.
Yeah, Portnoy's. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Then it's like you listen to KXM, where Doug is with George Lynch and Ray Luzier. It's like, they're pretty amazing. And I mean, I love Jerry Gaskill too. I don't know, it's so hard to choose.
Well,
you chose some
yeah,
good
you
ones.
You did good.
Yes.
Yeah, you
All right,
did.
thank you.
It's
Thank
really
you.
good.
No worries. Now, here's the question. You don't play. You're not a player, or
I'm not a player. I tried and I failed miserably, and I can't sing either. So,
man.
She's like me.
Well,
but I love music. I love it.
okay.
I
So
love
if you could absolutely shred at any instrument on the planet, orchestral, harp, timpani, ice bells, violin, what would it be?
saxophone.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Like Junior Walker, like
Like
saxophone?
it's such a sexy instrument and such a sexy sound, and there's just something about it that it's very emotional. Like it just wow, it really cuts to the core.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's the first. I mean, that's the first instrument of rock and roll in my mind. That's such a rock and roll instrument. It's always been. Anytime you hear it, but that's listen, man. This has been fantastic. It's so much fun, and I think what the people get to understand about NAMM and the way it works, and it's a process, and it's more than just guys and roadies. It's like everybody. It's a
Oh, it is everybody, and that's what makes it such a fun party. And it's fun because I remember my first show in '91. I really had no idea what to expect, and I was so overwhelmed. I was like, oh my God, this is huge. There's so much here. There's so many people. And it wasn't even that big. I mean, the last show we did, there were like 115,000 people at the 2020 NAMM show. It was just mind-boggling. But I remember I was walking around the NAMM show with a friend of mine, and everybody knew her, and everybody was coming up to her. We couldn't walk more than 5 feet at a time. And I was like, wow. And now it's like that happens to me.
well, of course it does. I mean, that's
But it's like it's such a change of event. It's just so funny how it started out where I was completely anonymous and nobody knew me, and now it's like everybody knows. It's really cool.
hey, damn.
And that's what it's like. It's like being at home, and that's why I said it's wonderful, and that's why I look forward to it.
And how do you work with the NAMM glance? This one. Hello, Dale.
Well, I don't care. I really don't, because a lot of times people come up to me and they're like, hey, how are you? And I'm like, oh shit, who is this? I don't know. And they start asking me questions like I can't necessarily see their badge. Like, how's your daughter doing? And I'm like, really good. And then and they start asking me, and I'm like, I don't know who I'm talking to.
Oh man.
But they know
Oh,
all
geez.
about
Yeah. And it's funny because over the years I've certainly experienced my share of that. And I
Sure.
think of these weird ways to figure out who it is. It's I wish I had recorded half of those conversations.
I know. I always want to take one of those courses on how to remember people's names, and it's like I can't. And I'm really bad at it. So
Well, you did it with Dawn of Time.
That's right.
That's how you do it. That's
Yeah.
really how you do it. You either
Yeah,
rhyme it with
that's-
something, or something that they're. Look, I watch those brain shows on Discovery. This is easy.
I know, but seriously, some people just don't have anything particularly memorable, that
That's
you can
right.
latch
Well,
onto. I mean, I hate to say it, and they don't know who they are anyway, so it's all right. I can say that.
Exactly. And the worst thing you can do is go, "Hi, Bob," when they borrowed somebody's badge. It's like, "Hi, Bob." Andy. Hi.
Don't forget the old days, where you had made up names, but now you have to show proof, so
Right. Oh,
everybody had all these crazy names,
Yeah. Okay. So you have a good name in mind.
Well, it was a Lloyd one, he used to use Ira Zencha.
I resent you. No, that's excellent. I resent you. That's awesome. I wouldn't even have gotten near that one.
No, and him and John used to make up
Oh,
names
well,
all
John
the
and I
time.
used to do that for
On the
hours.
tour bus.
Who do you want to be? I mean, it was just he was. We would even do women. Amanda,
Yeah.
reckon with,
Lauren
or
Order.
Lauren Order,
Yeah, right.
or Dana Life. When we did the Beatles, it's forever.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It was the
man.
good old days.
Oh, I think that's just great. Lloyd.
Yeah.
It's Lloyd, he had a lot of funny things,
Yeah, he was great. He was great. I do remember the hang with Lloyd.
I know. I miss him so much. To this day, it's like, yeah, that was hard. That was really hard, honestly.
Yeah, believe me, I know. I've been there, done that, but it's listen, it's okay because he's through it. He's waiting for us.
That's right. And and to have it be the last night of NAMM, it was the perfect exit.
Like John at the Hard Rock, right? I mean, come on, you can't write it better than that.
I know. I mean, I'm just glad that he got to see so many people and so many of his friends, rather than, yeah. I mean, there are many ways to do it, but for him, that was the perfect ending. It really was.
Absolutely. Yeah, it would have sucked on Thursday, but Sunday I get the poetry. See, I mean, think about,
You got a point there.
I'm telling you. Well, how do we do? Not so good. Hey, that's John's dark sense of humor coming through.
No, Lloyd would appreciate that 100%. Trust me.
Oh, I believe
He really
it.
would. He really
Tell
would.
her the name of your new album was
Okay,
John.
yeah, you're gonna love this. I'm actually I just signed a record deal, if you can believe that. To
Who does
do a
record deals?
Deco. You come to
okay.
me right there. Oh, look how well timed is that?
Oh, excellent. Product placement. Yes.
Let me tell you, right? Sponsorship.
That's right.
Anyway, Neumann, right? You recognize that, Neumann.
Yes. Very good products. Yes.
Yeah, very good product. Anyway, I'm doing releasing some of the rarities. John and I wrote a bunch of stuff for different things, and it never got released, and that kind of thing.
Oh,
But it's
that's
all
so
really,
cool.
Yeah, it's really cool,
That's
and
great.
doing it is a lot of fun. But
So he calls John's son.
yeah, so John was the ox, right?
Yes.
Okay, and do you know anything of? Did you spend more than 2 minutes and catch that dark sense of humor?
Not really, but it was always because everything was always so quick. It was hard to beat.
Yeah, I get it. I know. Believe me,
Yeah.
I've been there too. But,
Everything's on the fly. It's like,
he
all
was-
right.
Well, he had an album called
Yeah.
Rigor Mortis
Yeah,
Sets
yeah.
In.
Rigor mortis sets in memory of rock and roll. I mean, he was a pretty dark character. If you remember it, you wouldn't remember it but for 1970, he had the bone suit where he had a black
Yeah.
leather suit made with a skeleton over it, so the back of Isle of Wight thinks there's a skeleton on stage. Okay,
Yes.
this is a dark humor, right?
Yes.
So I decided to call the album Rarities Oxhumed.
Oh,
Would have loved it.
Lever.
His
like
son
that.
thought it up.
Yes, I called up Chris and I said, "Listen, I really need something, rarities and this and that. I mean,
And he came up with
come
the,
on." And he said,
Oxzoom.
"Rarities Oxhumed," and I was like, "Oh,
You are
you
John's
really are
son.
his son." It's
No, that's really
unbelievable.
good. That's really good.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's fantastic. Yeah, I mean,
I like it.
Yeah. Oh, they're both. That got to run in the family. But
So
listen,
when's it coming out?
well, I'm still doing it should be out relatively soon. The next, I guess it's really down to how quick I get them a run list for Volume 1, which I just spoke to Charlie today and told him that I have it. What it is I have all these DATs. Okay, do you remember? You remember DATs?
Yeah, I actually have a couple in my office.
Yeah, do you have a machine that works?
Yeah.
No.
Nobody does.
Okay.
It took us months to find
I'll
one.
bet you a machine and I'll raise you 4.
Okay.
So here I've got a board mix of every show we ever played. I have
Wow.
all of our demos, all of our pre-mixes, so many different. I mean, all on DAT.
That's
I
a lot to
get out
go
my
through.
trusty Tascam and nope. So okay, it's been a while. Let's try the Sony. Nope. Panasonic,
20 years.
right? This is the third one. Nope.
Oh, jeez.
So I called we have a place that rents gear like SIR down here, and I said, "You guys have a DAT machine?" "Absolutely, we have a DAT machine. Come on down and get it." "Nope."
None of them work.
So I have a friend in New York who said, "Why didn't you tell me you need a DAT machine?" Sent me a Fostex, and I feel like I really have Oxzoomed.
Wow.
Oh man, it's insane the stuff.
That's great.
Yeah, so
Well, I look forward to seeing or hearing that. Yeah.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, well I will definitely keep you in the loop and
Well, he's
and
going to have it out in time for the Who tour,
Yeah,
which
'cause
starts
yeah.
in April. So,
makes
Okay.
sense, right?
Yeah.
They are.
April is like next month.
yeah,
Well, I'm almost done.
he's almost
Okay.
done.
So they're doing the artwork. I mean, the artwork is so dark. It's like there's a shovel and a hole, and it's just
Digging
really.
up a grave.
I hope they. I have like a post-war. What do you call it? Tower Records. That's all caved.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, there's a buzzard on the shovel. It's fun.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So that's
All
everything.
right, so
that-
tell her about Free
Yeah,
for
so
All
Free
Fridays.
for All Friday. Now, I realize
Yeah.
it's tomorrow, so you want to be cool. You don't just come in the first Friday.
But you could.
You could, and you would be welcome, because you would see people you know. Absolutely. See people you know.
Yep.
It's just anybody who's ever been on the show uses the same key, comes in, "Hey, I'm at a gig, here I am, this and that, I'm getting yelled at, I gotta go." It's just fun. And we have I don't know if you know Rich Verge by happenstance. He checks in between sets in Aruba, and Lenny Kotke, the bass player from the Good Rats, comes in from Antigua, and it's just. I'm sure you must.
And Mousy.
Yeah, Mousy. Do you remember Mousy from
was-
No.
Good friends
maybe
with
Larry
Lloyd.
Hartke? Yeah,
Well, yeah.
it's a collection.
She's a sound girl.
Yeah, she's
Okay.
a sound woman. She's a sound woman.
She comes in.
And it's fun. So anyway, you're more than welcome anytime you want.
Okay,
And,
thank you.
Yeah, and it's not just the boys' club, because
No, there's girls.
girl palette.
I don't care. I'm used to any. I don't care.
You have to
Well,
be.
that's
used
how
to.
Mousy is.
But yeah,
I consider myself a person. You know what I
Yes.
mean? It's like
You don't have one of those them or they. You're not any of that. Them, we's, we's, them.
I'm just Dale. I don't.
Well, Dale, I'll tell you, that's good enough for me, man. This has
Yes.
really been a blast, and this hour flew by.
It did. It really did. I can't believe it's like wow. Okay.
And we are
right?
over
And
by 15.
it's like, we're on, just 5 more minutes. So then I was, yeah.
Well,
so
I really
listen,
appreciate you having me on the show. I really do.
oh, it was
Oh, it
a
was
blast.
fun.
And say hello to everybody for me. This was
I
really,
will.
really great. And like I said, any Friday, you're more than welcome. Anytime.
Okay. All right. Sounds great. It'll be a date.
Okay. I'll be looking
All right.
forward to it.
Bye,
Thank
Dale.
See you out there.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. I get applause. How do I end this?
I'll help you.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm going to help you. Here you go. And poof. Oh, that was fun. That looks like the NAMM show right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was great.
Yeah, she was great. That was a lot of fun.
Dale Creven.
And man, let me tell you what, that the NAMM thing, I don't know when you would ever get a chance to do it. They do have a public day. So if you're where there is one of those and you care about gear or you care about, I mean, you can't imagine how many different brands
Well,
of.
Sue went to one.
Sue did?
Yep. Remember, she was married to a guitar player. She said, I went to one NAMM show, a lot of fun, met Dweezil Zappa.
Wow, Dweezil was at the one that Dweezil introduced us to come on stage at the Vic Theater.
That's right. That's right.
Small world.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Okay.
Anyway,
So
tomorrow, listen to the girl.
Free for all Friday. So, children, bring your lawn chairs.
Bring your lawn chairs, children. Bring them. Here they are. Bring the lawn chairs. And if we don't see you in the future, I'll see you in the pasture.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Good night.